to a thought for the day for Wednesday morning. I just wanted to take a moment to acknowledge the fact that many of the people that I speak to are going through a difficult time at the moment because they're finding that their emotional and spiritual reserves are depleted and that their resilience is a lot weaker than it normally would be. Because, this has been, as you know, a hard year, a really hard year for people. If you've been in a family context, the different patterns and rhythms and dealing with all of that and the different people around you, that's been tough. But if you live on your own, that sense of isolation has really been exacerbated this year, and it's been really tough for you as well. People who've gone through real hardships, who have lost loved ones or who miss loved ones who they've lost recently in this time, that's hard at any time, but particularly in this time where you feel much more isolated, much more on your own, and that's really tough. And I wanted to take a moment just to acknowledge that toughness and that hardship, because as I say, people are finding that their reserves and their resilience are wearing thin, and it feels as though even with the hope of Christmas kind of coming up and what that might look like, it's still a time when people are feeling quite flat. And I just wanted to acknowledge that, because I think that's powerful to acknowledge, but I think also to say that we have hope not simply in terms of a virus, the vaccine for the virus, but hope in the sense that because of what Jesus has done, that we don't necessarily have to experience that loneliness, that isolation, because we know not only are we part of the family of God, and I'd encourage you to reach out if you're going through a hard time, as counterintuitive as it might seem, or as counter to your habit as it might seem, to reach out and say, hey, I'm struggling at the moment, can you pray for me? To reach out to people in the church around you, maybe on the church WhatsApp group, or to one of the leaders that you speak to regularly, or to me, to friends. Just be honest and say, hey, I'm struggling at the moment. Could you support me? Could you pray for me? And don't be afraid to say, actually, I need you to do that. But also the hope that we have, because the Spirit of God is inside of us, that we can experience his presence, a very real sense of his presence that banishes that sense of isolation, that sense of fear, because we know that he is always with us. And we have the hope that we will see better times. We will meet together again. We will worship together again. We will be able to embrace one another again. Things will get better. The night that we experience now will give way to the day. History very rarely moves in straight lines. It pings back and forth and moves forward and then back and then forwards and then back. And we may be at a place at the moment where it feels like we're going backwards, but there will come a time where we will go forward again together. And I just wanted to encourage you of that. Hang on to that hope, even if it feels like it's all you're hanging on to, because that will come to pass. And in the meantime, as we hang on together, know that we are here to support you, that we love you, and that we are for you. And reach out, if that's what you need today, to someone who can support you. But in the meantime, it's great to speak to you today, and I look forward to speaking to you again tomorrow. God bless you.